The sound of my daughter's voice still haunts me. Hi. She was trembling, barely able to speak. Dad, come home. Grandpa's doing something awful to him. Just 3 hours. That's how long I'd been gone. Long enough to think I could trust my father with my kids. Long enough to forget why I shouldn't. The road ahead became a blur. Speed limits faded under my tires. Every red light felt like an obstacle. Every passing second a countdown. I couldn't slow down. When I reached the house, I didn't knock. I kicked the door with such force that the frame cracked. And there he was, my father, standing over my son. My 2-year-old, pale and still, barely clinging to life. But it wasn't what I expected. Not yet. My father held a syringe in his shaking hands, his eyes glazed. Don't move, he whispered. My world tipped. For a brief moment, I was sure I was going to kill him right then and there. But then I saw the vial on the table. The label was medical, familiar. Something else was happening. Something worse. It's medicine, he muttered, hands trembling. Just an old prescription. I was helping. Helping. The word felt empty. I grabbed my son, checked for a pulse. Shallow, but there. And then my daughter, frozen in the doorway, her small body stiff with fear. Go to your room, I ordered, though my voice felt foreign. I called 911. The paramedics arrived quickly. They hooked my son up to oxygen, told me it had been close. Too close. My father said nothing during all of this. Once they left, I looked at him. He couldn't meet my gaze. Later, after the hospital confirmed my son was stable, I sat in the dark of my car, parked outside his house. Something didn't make sense. If it had been an accident, why the syringe? Why the locked door? Why had my daughter heard him talking to someone before she screamed for help? And then I remembered something my mother had said long ago. Your father was always too good at pretending. Pretending to care. Pretending to protect. Pretending to be human. I began searching quietly. Old hospital records, his medical history, prescriptions, past cases. I knew he had worked in pediatrics before retiring. But I didn't know how it ended. Suspensions, ethics complaints, confidential settlements, everything buried, sealed away. The deeper I dug, the worse it got. 2 cases, both involving children under 5, both died under his care from unknown complications. I didn't sleep that week. I barely ate. Each night I went through old home videos, looking for something, anything I might have missed. I found it. One clip of my daughter as a baby. My father holding her. She was crying, thrashing in fear. My wife stepped in, took her away, smiling awkwardly at the camera. But my father. He didn't smile. He just stared straight into the lens, into me, with cold, knowing eyes. I paused the video. Rewound it. Watched again. There was something else in the background, a small tray with needles, a bottle, the same label from the vial. My chest tightened. This wasn't a mistake. It never had been. When I confronted him, I didn't shout. I brought the evidence, photos, documents, the video, and placed them on his kitchen table, piece by piece. He didn't deny anything. Not really. He just sighed, as if I'd let him down. You don't understand, he whispered. They were sick. I was helping them. I was saving them from suffering. The word saving echoed in the air. Why my son? I asked. He smiled, a faint, tired smile that made my stomach churn. He's special, he said. Just like you were. I wanted to make sure he didn't grow up broken. The word broken hit me like a punch. I didn't react. I didn't yell. I just looked at him. Really looked. And in that moment, I realized this wasn't a man I was staring at. This was a disease. I waited until morning, then called a friend at the hospital, an old colleague with connections. I handed over everything, the files, the photos, the video. It took less than a day. They came for him quietly. No sirens, no handcuffs, just 2 officers in an unmarked car. He didn't resist. He didn't ask for me. But I went to the station anyway, to the small, windowless room where he sat alone. He looked smaller, older. I leaned against the glass and whispered, just barely loud enough for myself to hear. You finally saved someone, Dad. Me. Because when you can see the monster clearly, its shadow no longer scares you. My son is breathing normally now. My daughter sleeps soundly without fear. The house is quiet again, but not safe. It never will be. Sometimes, when I look at my reflection, I wonder what part of him lives in me. The calmness, the cold logic, the ability to pretend. Maybe that's the real curse. His blood in my veins. But there's one thing he never understood. Control isn't in the act. It's in restraint. He thought he was God. I learned to be the judge. And when I close my eyes, I don't dream of what he did. I dream of what I didn't do. Because that's how you end a legacy. Not with violence, but with silence. So complete, it becomes justice. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.